you've had an overdose of Shane show, but here's some more. And I'm including Facebook on this guy. So I want to share, instead of my card, I'm going to share something that I got. Let's see, I want to make sure. Can we be seen? Can we be heard? These are the things that matter. Facebook does sometimes, it does funny things, sometimes it's ready. So today's the Friday Coven, and what we're going to talk about today is why healing sucks. Now, it's not that I'm trying to be cool. This is just how I speak. So I want you to know that there might be two of me, but who cares? We're doing this, and we'll fix it later. But I want to start by saying, so it's the Friday Coven, and today's in a bunch of hours, it's Shabbos, and I've gotten really involved in my local synagogue lately because it feels really good, and it's it feels really good. So I got this at one of their hello. And I got this at one of their events, so I want to share it. The plants are teachers. They are connected to each other and all other spiritual beings through the sacredness of life. When I remember who I am, a human being connected to all of life, I remember also that I'm loved by the spirit world and our ancestors. And when I remember this, I remember to respect even the smallest of things. And so it just happens to be that there's a lot of anti-Semitism, and I went back to synagogue, I'm not back, but I went to synagogue, and it feels really good. So that's something I want to share because I'm making it my own. And when we all have some connection to faith from our childhood, you can recreate anything you want, basically, to make it feel apropos and right for this time in your life. So for a very long time, I was doing the teachings of heal your inner child, heal this part of you, heal that part of you. And I didn't realize the language of that and how stupid it is. So I want you to know that everybody who is working on healing yourself, really listen to what you're saying. What's up, Allison? Hey, was that Evelyn? Who did I see? When you're working on healing yourself, healing comes after you're broken. Healing comes after something is broken, after you have a bruise or a boo-boo. And what if, and it's funny, I had lunch with the rabbi this week, and she said, oh, you do work kind of like the Bible, kind of like the Torah, like creation comes first. Then you deal with the stuff. And that's really what I think is the most important, is that when you create something, you can then learn about yourself. You can then learn your process. But if you're looking to just heal yourself or get beyond something that you think isn't working, it's the slowest route to feel good about yourself. And the familiarity of healing yourself and making yourself feel better and making yourself feel good is so close to what most of us learned in school, which is like, you're not good enough. You're not smart enough. If you're not the smartest one in the class, then you're fucked up. And so to really steer clear from the word healing, unless you have a bruise or unless you are, you have a major illness. And even then, here's the trick about creativity, is that when you're creating things, healing naturally happens. So when I was a preschool teacher, the best way to connect with any kid was to ask them questions. And they don't have any holding back, right? So as adults, we have what to hold back. It's like, oh, I can only share part of it, or I could share the full story after I know you, or I share way too much. Like, anybody relate to that? Like, oh, I share way too much too soon. Put up a yes if that's the case. And so when you are in a place of trusting yourself, and you can trust your impulse, which is the third stage of what I teach. What's up, Melinda? You get to strut the stage of life without second guessing yourself. And when you don't second guess yourself, that's what takes up all the time. that's the thing where you end up getting waylaid, because if you don't know how to say like beeline to the finish line, you could take 20 years to get there. But if you take 20 years and half of that time is spent of you trying to find your way back, there's a lot of like unfulfilled expectation, disappointment. And so I love training people to follow their impulse. And I have so many clients that are just like, no, 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 that's not the way to do it. And I'm like, listen, my interest is in watching people be successful because they pay me and I want them to be successful. So when resistance shows up, yes, we can handle the resistance, we can work through it. But the consistency and the showing up, when that is tried to be done alone, it just doesn't happen, you know? And so I'm most interested in efficiency of success. Like, I want you to have results so you can be like, oh, I did do it. I am fucking special. I am amazing. Do the thing. Right. So I just posted this reel and it's like, stop wasting your life. Like it was somebody else's voiceover, Mel Robbins. And it's like when you're in it, you don't see it as a waste of life. Here's what you might see it as. I'm in a process. I'll say this. I'm marinating on it. It's not the right time. I think I should go back to school. My kids really need me. While all those things are true. Oh, thank you, Melinda. I blew it out this week because it was too cold. And while all these things are true and all the people in your world really need you, you want them to be autonomous, but B, if you don't give yourself a chance to do it now, time and life will never be perfect to do it. And so there's a lot of coaches out there teaching this stuff, but what's unconventional about me is we focus on expansion and healing and fun and connection and doing the thing in a way that feels authentic, right? So if you're a natural born hider, I'm not going to say do a video live every week. That's not going to work for you. But maybe do a TikTok and have puppets. Like there's so many ways to make it work. And what also is special about me, the way I help people is, you know, having been a special educator, my role as the therapist was to connect with a kid no matter where the fuck they're at. And I've worked with really low functioning, whatever the fuck that means, kids. And so I made them successful, even if they were not verbal, non-compliant, like anything that they would say about kids. I found a way to make them be successful. I gave them the tools and the pathway, and then they would look at me in ways, oh my goodness, of course you're here. So I remember actually one special little kid I worked with, and oh my goodness, Nat, I hope you realize this story is about your beautiful son. So I remember the mom would say like, oh, he's obsessed with doors. And he kept doing this thing with the door, right? Let's say this is the door handle. And then I looked around the house. I'm like, you know what? You don't have a mirror in this house. And in their house, they had these shiny gold doorknobs. So I saw that, you know, when you look in a doorknob, your face gets really big. And I'm like, I think he's looking at the mirror. And so the mom, who's amazing, got a mirror for him. And I don't remember if it was a quick thing, but he wasn't obsessed with doors. He was obsessed with the mirror and the ability for him to see himself. And magical mirrors where you get bigger when you look in them are super fun. So it's like being a really good listener and being a really good person who can pull out the golden threads is something that has been in me since I worked with kids like 15, 16 years ago. Another story like that is I was working with a nonverbal kid. They were here from Egypt. They moved to this country for services. And I came over and the kid was, you know, these are children that were on the spectrum, whatever the fuck that means. But anyway, he was watching the ceiling fan go round and round, nonverbal, jumping on the couch, not doing anything special. And yes, you remember. Okay, good. And So I was bored out of my face because I was teaching the kids like something that just didn't feel good. And I took out my lavender spray and I sprayed it because I was like, what the fuck? And I got to the house the next day, and this kid, nonverbal, which means he doesn't speak at all, he said to me, psh, psh. You know what that sound was? He was making the request for that lavender, which the spray bottle made that sound. So it's the same thing when I'm working with clients, or yeah, when I'm working with clients, they're like rambling, rambling, rambling. And they're like, whatever, this shit sucks. My life sucks. I don't know what to do. I can't be consistent. I have too many things I'm interested in. My kids are getting older, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wait, 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 wait. What's that one thing you said? And I'll like pull out the golden thread, open up the golden door, and they're like, oh, that? Well, and then they have a whole story on that thing. So rambling is a huge part of how the first stage of how I work with people. So you don't have to come into my program or working with me knowing what you're doing. You literally have to trust yourself to show up to the first free clarity call and be like, I don't know. I just know my life feels boring. My business is dead. I feel like I'm never going to be different and I'm settling. Can you help me? That's it. You don't have to say that. And then I ask you questions. I listen. I pull out a couple of golden threads. And then you're like, holy shit, I feel hope. I feel excitement in my body. I feel like anything is possible. And then I might say, great, when do you want to get started? Or I might say, this isn't for you right now. I think this is a better start for you. And I'll either refer somebody or give you a training video. So it's like, I'm not here to convince you to work with me. I'm here to fucking let you see yourself as great. Let you see yourself as someone who has so much potential in certain areas. The biggest thing I see now, I've been in this entrepreneur game for 20 years. There's one woman that I know that's been in it as long as me. Is that true? No, maybe there's like 4 or 5 that I started, and everyone else is not consistent. Everyone else starts to let life get busy and they put their passion on the back burner. I see it so much. I see it and it pisses me off because I'm like, ugh, you're so great. So I get really hype about it. And sometimes I'm very direct and people don't like it. Like this week I wrote to a couple of people in their DMs and I felt they were defensive. And I'm like, damn, I don't want to be one of those people who drop in their DMs. But I'm like, you have so many golden pieces. You're just not putting them together. Anyway, people say I digress. I don't really know what that means, but I do know that I think everyone's an icon, right? Some people live into that and some people just fly under the radar. And I do have to also say that doesn't mean you have to be on the main stage, right? Your iconship could be the support in the wings. Your iconship could be the author sitting at home in a dark room writing. Maybe you never show your face. But this stuff is so, so important because we have a Wild West economy. We have a Wild West country. Like everything's fucked up. And what that means is you could do a lot more of what you want. You could mess up in public and learn so much from it and learn how to speak about it so it doesn't feel like failure, but it feels like an attempt at something really cool. And so, you know, I just have so much attachment to other people's success, and I know how to detach as well. But my invite to you all is to go watch my free training. Right? This isn't like, let me sell you something. This is like, let me fucking educate you. And then you get to decide what you want to do with it. Because I don't necessarily love sales, but I do love results. And I do love when you get a training and you can apply it to yourself. Right? So I'll share in my own world. I'm amazing at supporting people. I'm amazing, good, I don't know, artist. And I always want to do more things, but I have a new endeavor again, and it's not new, but it's shopping with Shane. It's Enchanted Treasures. I got this amazing hookup for beautiful women's clothing and accessories. And I love shopping, and I needed to find a way to do it where I wouldn't have to put the stuff in my closets because I have no more fucking room, folks. So watch out for that, you know? So the method that I teach people is also the method that I use, have always been using. And the point is, you know, so many people I know spend so much money on different programs. And then when they're done, they have a lot of inner shifts, but the ego doesn't like remember those inner shifts. And so after a while, you just don't give yourself credit. And so it's so important to have a community that is specifically focused on your creativity and moving forward so your stuff gets seen and witnessed in the world, you know? And it's like, especially if you have a lot of genius, don't make it about yourself. Think about all the people that you will be helping. I love people who love to help others. I love people who are grateful. I love people who want to take risks, and they have, but they don't know how to keep doing it on their own. That's the people I love. That's the people I want to invite into my playground. So I'm going to end by pulling a card. Hi, everyone who's signing on. All right. So this is a deck of cards for romance. So it's called the Romance Angels. Here we go. We all need a little bit more love. All right. I love that there's so many people on here that came to my original day of joy. What's up, sisters? All right. So I'm pulling a card. By the way, they're so pretty. They have golden edges. It's almost Shabbos. The Shabbos queen is coming. And I'm going to pull a card for all of us. Ooh, this one jumped out. Playfulness. So perfect. Can you see it? I don't know where. Here we go. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. I love this card. And so I have this one male client, and he's in a relationship. And, you know, when you're working on relationship problems, they never feel better. But when you're working on your creativity and you feel interesting, guess what? Your relationship ends up feeling better because you're not focusing on what is broken. The relationship. You're focusing on being interesting. And when you feel interesting, lots of things get resolved. Okay. The other card is love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. I mean, that's what the fuck I'm saying right in this minute. So here's the card. I don't know if you could see it. Whatever. Facebook has a lag time. Okay. Love yourself first. And I'll pull one more card for the juiciest of the juicy. And also I have one more spot for the month intensive if you're interested. Chemistry. Okay. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. And the woman looks like Little Red Riding Hood, but it also looks like Stevie Nicks as Little Red Riding Hood. I love this deck. It's new. I think I just got tired. I'm going to take a little nap before I go to synagogue. All right. All right, everyone. So I'm going to post up my training. Watch it. If you feel called to schedule a call, schedule it. Like, get into the unknown that's chosen. We're all in this fucking place. I know, Brent. Welcome back. Of like, oh, the unknown. Oh, chaos. Chaos never comes at the right time. My friend who runs breathwork class, he said he wrote that post and it was just so powerful. Let me see if I can put up the link because the reason to get so involved in how you operate and how you get to feel calm is when something crazy happens, you don't get rocked so much. And it's like that kind of stuff that is the reason to work on yourself and to have something in the world. Like when shit feels hard, but you have something that you're working on, then you get to put the hard stuff aside. When you're overly concerned or overly worried about someone or something, guess what? Life feels like stuck ass. But when you're working on something, your concern, oh, thank you, for other people can be relaxed and your creativity can come through. So if you're a worrier or an overthinker, if you don't have a creative project that you care about, your shit is going down. All right, now I feel silly. Okay, Dave Gesselman, he teaches 2 breathwork classes a week. And he just said it. I can't find it now again, but he had this great quote. And it was basically like, chaos doesn't come when you want it to. And so it's really important to prepare your mind, your body, your spirit so that you can have more ease when chaos does show up. And it always does. So, whether it's meditation or creative support, it's so important for you to have a place to go to. And we all have a lot of stuff going on, and it's like the world's never going to stop. So don't wait. Bitches. All right. I'm going to sign off and take a little nap. I want you all to have a magical weekend, and I'll put up the training. Go watch it. Give me some feedback. Mostly not for me. Take it for yourself, and let's see what happens. All right. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Peace out. Bye.